So Fox News' most cartoonishly dumb host has left the network. I don't know the specifics behind it. I don't know if he chose to leave. I don't know if they fired him. I don't know the details. But this guy is a peach. So this is a guy who has blamed mass shootings on lack of school prayer. Strike one, you're out. He also said that God picked Trump. He said gay marriage leads to floods. And he argued that Obama gave away free bongs. I mean, none of this is true, but you already know that. And he's also known for talking like this. I'm touchdowns. He does like the fakest radio host voice you've ever heard in your life, mixed with the most insane politics you've ever heard in your life. Well, here's his last segment on air. The speculation is that this is what got him booted. He's talking to Pastor Robert Jeffers, and let's see what the topic of conversation was.
Clear to me that the average American citizen loves this president, and they're not buying into all of this impeachment nonsense.
They're not. And look, I heard it over and over again. Like you, I spoke to thousands of these people last week. And the reason they support this president is not because they're religious hypocrites. It's not because they think he is perfect. They know he's not perfect, just like none of us is perfect. But they appreciate the strong Christian stance he takes. He is without doubt the most pro-life, pro-religious liberty, pro-Israel, pro-conservative judiciary president we have ever had, and they don't want to see this warrior, in a sense, removed from his place of leadership in our country. There is a fear that if the left ever regains control of this country again, our nation is finished.
And look, I believe that. I genuinely, based on some of the legislation they've been trying to shove down the throats of the good people of California, and then with this Equality Act that Nancy Pelosi and her cronies are after, I have no doubt that they want to especially go after and target Christians in America, Dr. Jeffers.
Oh, I believe that. I believe if the left ever gets in control again, it's not going to be incremental change we see. They have said they're going to undo everything this president has done. And think about what he has done in the pro-life area, the sweeping religious liberty executive order he signed. They are going to undo that, and they are going to come after conservatives with a vengeance.
I wonder if that's why we are seeing these unrelenting attacks on President Trump, more so than any other Republican in at least modern history.
Yeah, yes, I think it is. And look, I said this on Fox and Friends yesterday, and the president retweeted my comments last night. Look, the Democrats knew they couldn't beat him at the ballot box in 2016. They are becoming increasingly aware of the fact that they can't beat him in 2020 either. Impeachment is the only option they have to remove Donald J. Trump from office. And look, I heard this sanctimonious Nancy Pelosi this weekend calling for prayer for our country, praying for prayer. Look, that reminds me of an arsonist, a pyromaniac with a match in his hand about to set a building on fire saying, now pray with me that the destruction I'm about to cause isn't too severe. I mean, if he's sincere, he'll put down the dang match. And if Nancy Pelosi is sincere about bringing this nation together, she will drop this impeachment effort. Let the American people decide 1 year from now at the ballot box. But she is uncomfortable. She's scared to death at what the American people will choose to do, and that is to keep Donald J. Trump in office.
You know, we just assume they're praying to God. I'm not quite sure. I don't know, Dr. Jeffers. I mean, they booed God, tried to vote him out of the party platform. I mean,
well, and apparently the God they worship is the God of the pagan God of the Old Testament, Moloch, who allowed for child sacrifice. I mean, the God of the Bible doesn't sanction the killing of millions and millions of children in the womb. I think the God they are worshiping is the God of their own imagination.
Okay, so first to that last point, that's actually not true. The Bible is pro-abortion. There's a part of the Bible where they talk about how you should drink bitter water. If your wife cheats on you, she should drink bitter water, and then the bitter water will lead her to miscarry. That's an abortion. And that's a good thing because that's, the baby that she got from the dude she cheated on you with. So the prescription in the Bible, if your wife cheats on you, is abortion. So it's not like the Bible's, anti-choice. Quite the opposite. Now, also, I find it hilarious that the people who are pro-death penalty and pro-Iraq war and all these other wars pretend like they're pro-life all of a sudden when it comes to little kids. And also, obviously, the second that the kids are born, they're like, no public assistance for you at all and starve for all I care. So, I mean, there's 1,000, different variations of hypocrisy there, but you all know that. But the part that everybody's speculating, well, here's why he's gone, because they argued, or actually it was Robert Jeffers, not even Todd Starnes, who argued that the Democrats worship Moloch, the pagan god. As people accurately pointed out on Twitter, that's relatively tame for all the insane things these guys have said over the years. So how could that be the thing that let him go? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not why he was let go. It couldn't be. Because again, he says crazier stuff than that on a daily basis, nonstop. My guess is it was some sort of contract dispute. My guess is there's a behind-the-scenes story that we're totally unaware of, which led to him being let go, because it's certainly not these comments. I mean, you could get this in the middle of the day on Fox News on the network, like on TV. Somebody will say, like, oh, the Democrats are coming after Christians, which is another thing they said. That's called Tuesday on Fox. That's nothing. So it definitely wasn't the commentary. It definitely wasn't the substance that put them off. I mean, this is a guy who, whatever odious idea you can come up with, he's defended it or advocated for it. So it wasn't this. He wasn't kicked off because they said Democrats worship the pagan god Moloch. It had to be something behind the scenes. And I saw a great tweet where somebody said, this is one of those arguments from the right that makes the Democrats look a lot cooler than they are. Like, ooh, that's interesting and edgy. You're worshiping a pagan god called Moloch? But it's like, no, they're just really boring and suck at politics. So anyway, this is not why Todd Starnes is gone. But it's funny because he's one of the worst Fox hosts that there is. One of the fakest in terms of his delivery and one of the worst in terms of substance. So I'm sure he'll be picked up by The Blaze or by Newsmax or by any of these other networks any minute now.